Are you excited?
Yeah.
Okay, turn around and have a look.
Retro Ghetto.
Hi everybody, welcome to this week's Ghetto vlog. I am here in Lichfield. I was in a local-ish area. I wanted somewhere that had charity shops, somewhere that had a CEX with my newfound PS3 Essentials hunting, and also somewhere I hadn't been for a while, with the bonus of some nice Caribbean food thrown in, so it only left Lichfield. I'm right outside the CEX now, so that's where we're going to kick off this vlog. We're going to take a look at CEX, and then we're going to hit up all the charity shops, of which there's a lot. Let's go. Okay, so they've got a decent retro selection here, as you've just seen. I don't think there's anything I need, but it's time to hunt for PS3 Essentials. So many generations I've actually got, so that's a relatively heavy hitter, so I'm glad I've got that one already. This one's fooled me, it's just a standard red spine. There's a couple like that. Infamous 2? Let's have a good look. I think I've caught CEX slipping. If you look at this, Skyrim Legendary Edition, £3. And I've got one here, Legendary Edition. And I've got it £1.50 standard. So what I'm going to do when they put the disc in is try and push them to put the Legendary Edition in here. Because technically that's the right box. I think that'll be the right thing for them to do. So I'll let you know if that works. I've already got this one. I've never seen this before. I'd be tempted to pick it up, but you know what? I don't like how thin it is. Look, it's thinner than a standard game. Never seen this. Okay, so that was successful. I left with the 4 PS3 Essentials, all of which had the Essentials discs. What I was able to do was clarify when I got there I wanted Essentials discs, and therefore that ensured I got the Legendary Edition Skyrim. So I caught CX slipping a little bit there, saved myself £1.50. But yeah, some nice games. I did leave 1 or 2 behind. I'll talk about that more once we get back and I'll show you what I did pick up. But for now, there's a lot of charity shops, so let's go and take a look. Oh, so a couple more in the back.
Okay,
I'll have a look at these. Thanks a lot, Olivia. Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so I'm not doing too badly at all. Just found this. The Last of Us Remastered, £6 traded. There was just a couple of Xbox 360 games out. I asked the woman in the back if there was any more. She grabbed some. She looked how much the 360 ones were, so they're all £1.50. And this was in the lot, so yeah, happy with that. Nice little bit of trading for me. It's a fantastic game. It's been a while since I played this, you know. I think I might own it digitally. But yeah, really happy with that. Let's go and check a few more. So I would call that a resounding success. Nice couple of games found. Some nice bits found in CEX. The only huge disappointment is this. I'm eating my standard chicken mayo. I was too early for my Caribbean takeaway that I had my heart set on. I was too late for a McDonald's breakfast. Tastes like disappointment. I must keep timing it wrong.
I'll take your number down so I can get another look.
Alright darling, appreciate it. Appreciate that, thank you very much.
Retro Ghetto.
Okay, so I've just got back, made myself a fresh brew, and as I opened the door, flicked the lights on, I just thought to myself, yeah, I've done it, right? I've got it looking sort of exactly as I want it to. When you walk in now, it's hard to really convey it on camera. It does look very different on camera. But yeah, like the view's opened up. Loads of good stuff's on display. It was definitely the right call taking these units off and putting that standee there. It's just, yeah, nothing looks off anymore. Obviously these are moving, still some rubbish there. But generally speaking, in terms of the layout, the loose layout, all these shelves have got to be reworked. But loosely, I am very, very happy, and it's now officially locked in. It's time to sort of find everything at home. What we need to do is look at everything I picked up, because it turned into a really good hunt today. I've got to be careful. There's things over there that I can't show you yet. We're going to get to that in a minute. I've been busy in here. I've made some changes before the vlog started rolling, so we'll get to that, but let's take a look at what I picked up.
Right, okay, I think it's fair to say that my trip to Lichfield went well. Came back with a nice stack of games. As you saw, I started in CEX. CEX isn't the normal place to start. It makes sense to go and do the charity shops first for stuff you can potentially trade to CEX, but literally where I parked my car, CEX was there. I was filming the intro to the vlog. Let's go in CEX, right? So went to CEX first. Buoyed by my new collecting of the PS3 Essentials range, and it's done exactly what I sort of said it would do for me on Wednesday's video, right? Just give me that reason to go into CEXs when I'm in local towns now. Before, I was going in massively favouring hope than expectation, right? Thinking I was going to find a Mega Drive game, a rare Switch game, or complete in box, nice condition Super Nintendo game, or, you know, maybe something in a sleeve cover or steelbook at standard price. But it's just getting fewer and further between that I would actually find them, and I was coming out more and more times empty-handed. And yeah, this is not only something that I've kind of had that passion for to collect and display in my room, but it's also really giving me that impetus to go into CEX with a newfound hope that I'm going to find something. And I'd like to try and find them all in person. Don't quote me on that, right? It's very early in the collection, but right now I'm just going to try and find them all in CEX stores in person. And I think that's the way to collect now in CEX, because these cheaper games that for me are arguably more fun to collect, right? There's no point in buying them on the CEX app anymore. Now the £3 postage is there. With these games being less than £3, it makes no sense. So again, it's great to have that impetus to go buy these games in person. But let's get into them anyway. So the first one was Infamous 2, a game I own in one way or another. I've been told on these videos before by people in the comments to play it. It does look really interesting. It's just like everything, right? The backlog's no joke. So hopefully one day I'll get to Infamous 2. The next one I picked up was Assassin's Creed 3. And then, with this one, I caught CEX slipping. That is Skyrim Legendary Edition. No surprise, Skyrim's got an Essentials release, right? This thing is released on every system ever at this point. But yeah, I caught them slipping because it should have been £3. They marked it as the standard edition of the game, £1.50. And to basically ensure that I got that disc for £1.50, I just specified with the guy when I purchased these items, can I have the Essentials discs, please? And yeah, you put all the Essentials discs in, thus ensuring that I got the Essentials Legendary Edition of the game. So yeah, that worked out really well. If it was my local CEX, I wouldn't have done it, I'll be honest with you. What I do with my local CEX quite often is if I catch them slipping or see things that are priced incorrectly, I just sort of like direct them to it, because yeah, I've got a very different relationship with my local branch, and it goes beyond that of sort of consumer and supplier. But listen, any other branch, it's fair game. I'll take them little victories where I can get them. So save myself £1.50 there. And the next one I picked up, I thought this is one of those ones that could potentially be harder to come by, maybe more uncommon in the set, simply because it didn't get received very well upon release. And then for it to get an Essentials release down the line when everyone was already aware of the negative reviews. But that's Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. Plays very different to your standard Resident Evil games. I believe it's what they call like a squad shooter, I believe. It's not really my cup of tea, so I'll be honest with you, I don't know much about it. I just know that Resident Evil fans weren't enamoured with this release. But yeah, I just thought it'd be one of them that might potentially be a little bit harder to pick up, and slightly on the more expensive side, being £5 as opposed to the £1.50 that these games are here. And I think that's all of them, right? Yeah, I mentioned Assassin's Creed 3. There was one other one in there which I was very tempted to buy, and that was Toy Story 3. It was £8. And the reason I didn't buy it is because the box itself wasn't in the best condition. The spine had like a little knock and a dink, so the red had gone white a little bit, and I just thought for £8, that's one I'd rather find in better condition than the spine having a little bit of damage. If it was £1.50, I'd think, well, whatever. But yeah, maybe I should have picked that one up because I have heard it's a good game, Toy Story 3. I found it before in a charity shop. I think I owned the Wii version. I found the PS3 version before, but traded it in because it had decent trading value. But by all accounts, it's actually a very good game. Beyond that of a standard Disney game for kids. So that is one that I will be picking up and playing in the non-too-distant future, I am sure. And yeah, so from there, I went to the many charity shops at Lichfield. And listen, there's definitely hunters in Lichfield, no doubt about it, you can tell. But I have been before and just got at the right time. I've been before and found nothing. And today I managed to find a copy of The Last of Us remastered on the PS4. And listen, I got it the way that I've been getting the vast majority of my games from charity shops lately. I asked if there was anything in the back. You've got to ask. I'd say 70, maybe 80%. I don't want to give a number on it, right? But I'd say the vast majority of games I've been finding recently have come from asking if there's anything in the back. So you have to ask. If you don't ask, you don't get. Just, you know, remember your manners and you might be surprised as to what you will find on your hunts. So yeah, found a copy of that. Traded that into CX on the way out. So that was like £6 trading. And then from there I kind of went a slight detour on the way home. I went to a local-ish charity shop and I asked the lady. She said no, but she remembered me from last time. She went in the back, came back with some games, and crucially, what could potentially be the highlight of this hunt, she took my phone number. So she said she'll be calling me should they get any games in going forwards, which obviously is very nice of her. So yeah, it's always nice to build a relationship. She seems like a really nice woman. We had a nice chat, and I picked up a few games. There's no signal in that shop. It's like in the middle of nowhere, right? So I just sort of picked up games that I thought might be worth it. Once she said they're only £1 each. One of these I already own, to my surprise, because I can't believe I don't own the others. And that is Modern Warfare 3. I know Call of Duty games have gone up in value recently. I just don't know which ones to what extent. This one's only £3, but well worth picking up for £1. And I say that's the only one I owned. I can't believe I didn't own these three. Tony Hawk's Proving Ground. Pretty confident I've got this on the PS3. Marvel Superheroes. I see this in charity shops all the time. I leave it behind. I know at this point there's no value in it. It's like £1.50 value, maybe something like that. But with them being £1, it's well worth picking up. And I say I don't already own it, so that's going in there. I don't know how I don't own Forza Motorsport 4. I'm thinking I must do, you know. Let me, hold on. Yeah, I do. I own this. I own the big box version of this. I thought I must have owned it. I had a quick look on the shelf when I got back. I own the big box version of this, but again, for £1. I'm more of a Project Gotham Racing guy than 360 myself. And I think that's it, right? So yeah, they were like £1 each, like £6.50 trading or something. But like I say, they're going on the shelf except for Modern Warfare 3. And as I was buying the games at the counter, I could see like one of them big IKEA bags, right? The standard sort of big DVD drop-off people do to charity shops. And right on the top, the only DVD you could see what it was John Wick 4. Haven't watched this yet. Loved the first one. Second one, thought was okay. It did do enough for me to make me think I had to rush out and watch the others. Haven't seen 3 yet, but I heard a lot of very good things about 4. So yeah, I might watch like a quick YouTube catch-up of 3 or something and watch 4 because like I said, I've heard a lot of good things about this one. So yeah, that was £1 as well. So decent.
Okay, it's time for me to show you what I've been busy working on since last week's vlog. I did mention I was going to be doing this, and it was a lot harder work than I anticipated it being, but it's going to be fantastic. Let's take a look. I decided to extend the SNES wall, right? So I think I said at last week's episode, this is just dead space up here. This took a lot longer than it should have done. It was a bit of a nightmare, to be honest. We decided not to cut these. These are slightly overhanging, but by the time you got the games on, you don't know. And there's nothing like to worry about in terms of that. And you would never get a finish as good as the professional finish in terms of like painting it and whatever. So yeah, to be honest, it was just a lot easier. It just made more sense to leave it there. And I checked, and I think 4 games fit perfectly on the shelf as it is. So yeah, the only other thing I need to do is fill this gap here. I didn't buy an additional shelf to cut because I knew I already had one in the house, like an old one. So I cut this, and I can't use this for the same reason that this was an absolute nightmare. These shelves were done, what, just over a year ago when we built the room, right? And as I explained on last week's vlog, none of them are quite the same. They're all slightly out and you have to kind of do it by eye to make them match up. However, they're now completely out. If you look at that, the newer ones are completely different to the older ones. So you can't line them up exactly. I sacrificed the back for the front. So I thought the most important bit was to get the front right. Where it's annoying, particularly this top one here, is here, look. So you see underneath, you can't get the same angle. It's impossible. They're just not made the same anymore. It genuinely doesn't bother me because once you've got the games on, you won't be able to see it. And yeah, this took a lot of work, a lot of moving about to get it as good as it is, believe me. And I'm really happy that there's no real issues sort of front on as you look at it. The only thing, as I say, left to do really is just get an additional piece up there. Luckily, there was like one of the wooden timbers was here. So these are all really sturdy. I was able to drill straight into the wood. I could literally do pull-ups on these. So yeah, all good in the hood. I think this has like enabled me to display, I think, another 20, maybe more, but in and around 20 more games. So yeah, it's going to be great. Because like I say, I want to make it the whole wall, right? Make it live up to the name, the SNES wall. And obviously it gives me all this space to continue to put the spines on show. What that will also now mean is the Super Nintendo sign can be moved further down so that it's in the middle of the wall as opposed to just being in the middle of the Super Nintendo wall. Yeah, so there's loads to be doing. I'm going to get 20 games out the bottom here that I would like to integrate into the wall. And then let's have a big move around, shall we? I've been waiting days to do this. Okay, so I broke it down to 20 games that I'll ideally get on the wall. 20 is a minimum. So these are the ones we want to implement. But before that, let's get the sign moved around. So yeah, you can see how much it's going to be extended by. It's an extra 10 games up there. So obviously I've moved this along 5 to balance it out. Putting the Super Nintendo sign pretty much bang on halfway down the room, right, where the sofa is. So now is the fun bit, I guess. Let's take the time to rearrange the Super Nintendo wall lineup. It's impossible to get it like all in one frame, but yeah, it's made a big difference. It really has. And like I say, you can't notice any indiscrepancies with those shelves, not at all. I didn't think you would once the games are on. Yeah, man. With that done, let's play some Super Nintendo games, shall we? Ah! No! Is it done? Right. I thought I'd completed it. Right, let me put the camera down. We've been here before, right, guys? Those of you who've been watching the vlogs know I got caught out like this before. I thought I'd killed him, but he's back on his feet. Right, let's go again. What in God's name? What? Nothing even hit me. Oh! Please be it. Please be it. Please be it. That's it. Quickly tug on that to celebrate. Is that it? Yes! Woo! I needed that. That was my final continue. I did not want to run through that whole game again. Game number 15 of the year. Sunset Riders on the Super Nintendo. What a game. Get in there, my son! Buzzing with that one.
Retro Ghetto.
Good morning on what is a beautiful, bright, fresh September morning. And yeah, purposely up very early today because there's loads to get done. I had a relatively late night last night getting, where are we? Sunset Riders finished. Really enjoyed that game. As you saw, you know, tempers got a little frayed. I was on my final continue, I think, on the final boss, and yeah, I really didn't want to have to run through the game again. And on my last life, I got it done, so it always feels better to do it in that way. After that, I started to play something else. I just wanted a bit of a palate cleanser. I played Hot Shot Racing. Really enjoyed it. Loved the visuals. Very clean, very crisp, even on the Nintendo Switch. Very impressed with that game. I only played through like 3 of the tournaments on easy mode. It's similar to Mario Kart. You get easy, normal, hard, and then super hard or whatever, I don't know, on each one. It's definitely one that I'll pick up and play every now and again. But yeah, really fun game. As I say, very impressed with the visuals on that one. But back to today. I really need to start getting this room locked in. So as I said earlier on this vlog, I'm delighted. I'm really happy with the general layout. The basic layout is exactly where we want it. But it's time now to get everything put into place. It's going to be a time-consuming process, but these units need coming out of here. Mega Drive needs to go somewhere. That standee needs to find a home. All of these shelves down here need sorting out. As I say, this is just stuff I threw in to get it off the floor. So we've got to arrange all of these shelves down here. Ryu needs a home. This unit here needs sorting out. There's currently nothing inside it. General tidy up. Yeah, this needs a fixing to this properly because she keeps falling down. My new games need putting away. These toys and stuff need putting away. So yeah, generally just a lot of loose ends that are all going to make a big difference, right? There's a lot of things that now need a home. Now we've got this layout finalised. Now the Super Nintendo wall is all but done, right? As done as we can get it. Yeah, I'm so happy with that walk, man. I really am. But yeah, let's crack on and let's do it, right? Right, I've decided to start with the laborious task of doing the trunking hack. I want to get all of this 360 section done, as well as implementing these new games into this collection. As I say, I want these trunking pieces out of my way, and yeah, it's just one of them jobs that really needs doing. Okay, that's one done. 4 more. Okay, so in what was a second for you guys and seemingly an eternity for me, the trunking hack is done. So yeah, one of them jobs really which I wanted to get out of the way first because you don't get that payoff aesthetically, right? Because it looks pretty much the same, maybe slightly neater than it did before, but I think it's crucial to a games room to be able to just pick up a game, put it back on the shelf, and not have the hassle of them all being pushed in, etc. The only one I didn't do was the bottom one, just simply because there's a lot of collector's editions, big box stuff and whatnot. They're all different lengths and widths and dimensions, so you're never going to get that perfectly straight edge anyway. So yeah, I left that one as it is, but the rest have all been done. Nice to get that job ticked off the list. Now, I'm going to turn my attention to, yeah, it's time to get these shelves sorted out, right? Okay, before we get anything else done, I need to address the state that the gym area has become. The farmer has been cutting hedges again today, as you can see, but he's not cut this section of the gym area. He did last year, as we saw. And you can see he's cut everything except this area. Probably since this has been built, he probably doesn't want to hit the 3.0, which is fair enough. So whilst everywhere's a mess, I'm going to tackle this hedge, get this area. Okay, so that's looking loads better. Probably somewhat naively, given how much rain and sun we seem to still be getting. I'm hoping it's the last time I'm going to have to do the hedges this year. Disappointed that I didn't get more done in the gym. Not in terms of working out, but in terms of making the gym area a better place. This summer, I've just been so busy. I saw some pictures on my phone earlier of how nice this looked when it was fresh last year. And the deterioration is real, guys. Obviously it's an outdoor gym, I don't expect it to stay pristine, but like I say, it's my own fault. I never did the patio seal. So next summer we're going to repaint all this, do the seal, and I'm hoping also to get some sort of like an awning or a roof put on half of this area, just to keep the equipment out of the rain and stuff going forward. So yeah, that's definitely something we're going to be doing next year, but until then, I can make it in. Okay, so it's been a while since I checked in, a lot of trial and error. I've got my Sagat and Ryu in there for now. The God of War Ascension PS3 bundle box fits in that bit there fantastically. And I'm playing around with PS1 here. Don't quite have enough room though, because I still have platinum ones I need to fit in. And I'm toying around with the idea of putting VHS down here, but it would mean a big colour VHS because there's still a lot there. And yeah, this is the thing with shelf arranging, right? You can spend a long time and a lot doesn't really get done. It's constantly moving one thing and then moving 7 other things to house it and then deciding you don't like it and moving it back. But that's the nature of the beast. So yeah, I'll check in again once I've actually made some decent progress. Okay, so it feels like I'm getting somewhere finally. I've created this new shelf because I really wanted to display the Mario All-Stars box. So I've put some additional sort of Nintendo items to fill that gap. And once again, it seems to be a weekly ritual. PlayStation 1 has moved to this shelf here, but yeah, it's starting to come together. There's still a lot of things I've got to find homes for, but thankfully there's still a lot of empty shelves with which to do it. Okay, so I've been staring at my shelves for what feels like an eternity. I've got absolutely nowhere, so decided to come for some fresh air, find some inspiration. And by inspiration, I mean a local charity shop, so let's go and see what they've got. Well, I set out on this trip looking for inspiration and found more than that. It's not every day you find a stack of sealed Nintendo games in a charity shop, so let's get back and take a look. Right, okay, I think I'll position myself here so you can see my nice new shelves. I timed that right, didn't I? Like I said, I just nipped out because I was staring at these walls, getting nowhere. And yeah, I don't know if you noticed it on the video footage, but there was a stack of Nintendo DS games. And most of them were sealed, to my surprise. I often think when lots like this come in, where did they come from? Why has somebody bought in? Why does somebody even own all these DS games? Never mind to just give them to a charity shop, right? And a couple of them were seemingly worthless. Maybe I should have picked them up because they were sealed, but I just picked up the ones that looked like it had some value. And that was The Legend of, I'm going to say Kage, might be Cage, I don't know anything about this game. I'm going to go with Kage. The Legend of Kage 2. Don't know much about this. It's Square Enix, developed by Taito. I'm guessing it's an RPG of some sort. You'll be seeing the footage on screen now. Not only did they have one of these, they had two.
both sealed. I think CEX are giving £5 each, so it's £10 trading with these. They cost me 99 pence, but that's only half the story, right? The cheapest opened version of this game on eBay right now is £17, and the cheapest sealed copy of this is £70. So theoretically, £140 worth of games here on eBay. Now that is only listed, not sold, of course, so take that with a pinch of salt, but it's as much as I can base this on because there's no sold listings. So yeah, I certainly won't be trading these into CEX for £5 each. I don't know what I'm going to do with these. I'll probably hang on to them for a little bit, but yeah, not every day you find sealed Nintendo games in a local charity shop, never mind Square Enix games. So yeah, very, very happy with that. And they're perfect seals as well. There's no damage, no holes, no rips, no tears. And they're both the sort of the proper seal as well, like with the little red pieces on. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with these right now. I'll probably sit on them for a little while, maybe sort of do a bit more research into eBay and whatnot. But yeah, very happy with that. Very, very happy with that. Like I say, the lowest non-sealed one on eBay is like £17. So, I mean, realistically, with the cheapest one on eBay being 70 for a sealed copy, what? I'd like to think there's at least 100 quid's worth here. I'm not big on the sealed game market. I don't know. Either way, I'm very happy with that for £2 or £1.98 more accurately. Yeah, decent, and that's given me that lease of life that I needed to crack back on with getting these game shelves done. I really want to get these shelves done today. Time's passing by. We've had all the issues outside, and now we're here. I think I'm going to move PS2. I know we've only just recently put it on the other side of the Xbox stuff, but I've got a plan, so I'm just going to kick on with it.
Okay, so as you'll see, PS2 has gone. PS2 is now on the bottom row of these three billies. The reason I decided to do it like that is I wanted to keep gaming together, so I've got all my video games in one place, and then this area will now be used to house sort of like video cassettes, VHS, music CDs, toys. I've got all my hip-hop toys down here. So yeah, just a nice space now to display those things that I've been struggling to find a home for. I've been struggling to integrate my toys, some of my bigger toys, into these shelves, and this is now going to give me the perfect platform to do so. These here were overflow that I'm getting rid of, so I'm going to keep PS2 strictly to those three shelves at the bottom. So as and when I discover more PS2 games to add to my collection, I'll simply take out a few of the more filler titles and just, yeah, try and keep it more killer, less filler on the PS2. I'm certainly not going to miss these games. But yeah, now the next thing for me to do, I guess, is to get stuff put here. I've just heard a horrible crash and bang. Great. So that's 13 years bad luck. Right, okay. This unit has been refilled and I've got to say it's looking great. So, top unit is what I'm dubbing the gangster shelf. So it's all like the Mezco gangster line, the Tony Montana figures, all of the Mezco hip hop figures. And underneath that, VHS, and then we've got my CDs, and yeah, even space underneath for some box. And yeah, it just makes me so happy because this has housed everything I was struggling to house, right? CDs have been sort of stacked behind games in this room for a long time. Figures have just been floating around. I've never been quite happy with it, and now to have this sort of like multimedia area here, for this whole section of toys, VHS and CDs, yeah, I'm just very, very happy I decided to make this switch from PS2 to this. This is just going to help clean up the games room no end. And as you can see now, we've actually got some spare shelving, which is great. Some people try and fill every inch. I'm the opposite, right? I'm at that point where I'm happy to see empty spaces on the shelves because that's just room for growth. So yeah, there's a few more things I need to do, and yeah, I'm gonna get tidied up, and then I'll give you guys a bit of a mini room tour once I'm all done. It's been a long day. You know what, guys? I think it's time to cut the Lego Jazz set loose. I think it's time to get something a bit more appropriate in there.
There we go. Doesn't get much more appropriate than the House of Dead Overkill hand cannon for the Wii. That's something I've been sitting on for a while, never really been able to display it, and yeah, I cleaned it up because it wasn't the nicest of looking things. I bought this from Vintage Gamer a long time ago, and I always had the intention of cleaning it up, and yeah, I've just sat here now, got all the grime off it, and I must say, it looks great.
As you can see, nighttime is upon us. It's been a long day getting this room done, a lot of work. Started 14 hours ago. I've put probably 10-11 hours total time into getting this room where it is. I knew it was going to take a long time, I knew it was going to be a long day. These kind of finishing touches always are, because it's a lot of moving around. There hasn't actually been that much filming in terms of what I've been doing, because you guys don't need to see me move a set of games twice and then change my mind later on and do it again, and that's very much what it is, a lot of trial and error, a lot of getting rid of things. And anyway, I'm pleased to say, after all the work, this game room is the best it's ever been. This is the best 3.0 I've ever had. This is the best iteration, and this is almost the third iteration of the 3.0, if you like. So when I first moved in, I built the room, I got everything in, I filmed the first room tour. Then it was kind of the next level up, and that's what Theo and Slamhouse TV came and filmed. And now I'm sort of at that point now where it's reached its final form, so to speak, right? There isn't really much more that can be done in here. I think I've maximised it perfectly in terms of the space, the storage. So it was really about sort of refining that now, getting everything exactly where I want it to be, getting everything on point, finding a home for everything, getting things out of here that don't have a home. And anyway, enough talking, let me show you what we've done.
Okay, so we started this morning, as you know, with the trunking hack. I got rid of all those additional units that were previously here. This GTA standee has now been locked into place. I love this here. I just think it looks so much better without having the intrusion of those other units that we had. And this was a bit of a brainwave of mine, to be honest, in removing what was here. Because like I say, having this as the sort of hip-hop area, basically, we've got what's mostly hip-hop toys, hip-hop influenced VHS for the most part, my CDs, and then my storage unit down there behind the Tekken 5 standee. This just helped with so much else in the room. Getting all this stuff here just allowed me to make everything else cleaner and more refined in terms of video game stuff. Finally found a home for this, which is one of my favourite of all the video game collector's edition statues. I love this thing. But yeah, not a lot has changed here. I was already really happy with everything here. Ryu's been moved to down here. He was previously in that other corner. I've added the hand cannon in place of the Lego Jazz set. Other than that, not a lot of changes. Just a bit of growth for the PS3 Essentials set. And most of the changes have been along here. This was just sort of filled before with rubbish. I've really refined this. I just think it looks so clean, right? Everything's got a home, and that's exactly how I wanted it to be. The only thing which isn't locked in is this shelf here. Obviously God of War needs a better home where he can stand upright, and there's just the collector's edition there for now. But I love the fact there's spare shelves, which means room to grow. Yeah, everything's got a home, everything's clean, and that's sort of what I've always wanted from a games room, right? The 18-inch NECA Kratos has gone in there. The only thing really that needs finishing on the newly extended Super Nintendo wall is this shelf here. We ordered that from IKEA. I'm sure you guys will forgive me for not wanting to go to IKEA again after last week where we went twice in 2 days. So yeah, I've got the shelf on order. That's coming in 2 days' time. It'll be here for the next vlog. So yeah, the only thing left to sort out is this pile here of Mega Drive games. Because yeah, the final piece of the puzzle really now is the Mega Drive wall. I've still got to figure it out exactly how I'm going to do it. At the moment, I'm thinking about having sort of shelves cut in and around the standee and the monitor.
But I've also got to figure out what I'm going to do with the excess games, because I'm not going to be able to fit them all on the wall. So there's some that are going to have to go spine only, so whatever that means, I have to run a separate shelf with all the spines on show. So I still need to sort of figure that out, but we'll do that on next week's vlog. And I need a home for the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 standee. And the only other thing is the fantastic Sega light, the Mega Drive light, which will go up there as the crowning glory once the Mega Drive wall is done. But yeah, never been happier. When you walk in, like the view, it genuinely doesn't do it justice on camera, but yeah, this is what all the hard work's been for, right? Let me know in the comments what you think. That's the hard work paid off. So that's another Ghetto vlog in the book, and what a day, what a week, right? Really happy that we're at this point. I think I've said on last week's vlog, I've kind of felt the pressure a bit to get this room where I want it. I almost want to underline this iteration of the game room. We're counting down the weeks in terms of Mini Ghetto's arrival. He's going to be here before too long, and this is just one of those things that I really wanted to get done. Obviously, alongside this, I am building Little Man's room, Mini Ghetto's nursery is getting done, as well as all the other things in the house. Mrs. Ghetto is very much in the nesting phase, so there's a list of jobs as long as my arm in the main house. And yeah, getting the 3.0 to where I want it, clean, tidy, close the door on it, is something that I really want to get done as soon as possible, just so I can sort of focus then on other things with Little Man's impending arrival. And today was a massive leap towards that. It really was. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I'm just looking at it now from like a new angle, and that's what I love about this games room. There's so many angles of which to look at things, right? It's genuinely never looked better. So for me, the hard work's definitely been worth it. Hopefully next week we're going to get it done as the game room can be. All we need to do now is get the Sega wall locked in, get all the Sega Mega Drive games put in situ, get the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 standee put up, try and resist the urge to buy something that I've seen on offer today, which is massive, and would be more game room changes, so I'm not even allowing myself to think about that today. But who knows if there might be a huge parcel coming next week. No, I'm not going to do it. But yeah, just another great week, finding them sealed DS games in a charity shop. And yeah, as always, all that's left for me to do is thank you guys. Thank you to everybody that's helped, watched, supported. Massive shout out, of course, to the Ghetto gang. And as you guys are watching this on Sunday morning, I'm going to be at the NEC Toy Fair. For me, the highlight of the collecting calendar. I absolutely love the NEC Toy Fair. There will, of course, be a video and some content coming real soon on the channel, so keep it locked for that, and hopefully I'll see some of you guys there as well. But as always, play your games, keep it retro. I'll see you all real soon. Take care.
Retro Ghetto.
Lock into the retro ghetto.